Christopher Nolan tackles one of the greatest stories ever told. Is this one of his greatest stories he's ever brought to film? Let's talk about the Odyssey. Hey guys, AJYT Abbott here, and welcome to my review, finally, for the Odyssey. I apologize for this being late. I wasn't able to see this until Monday night. I wanted to have a special day where me and my friend went to go see it because it's his birthday this week. And I wanted to, have a special night where we're like, let's go out and watch the newest Christopher Nolan movie because we're both big fans of it. We were both highly anticipating this. This was my most anticipated movie of the year. And holy shit, guys, this movie, oh, wow. Guys, we might be here for a while. We might be here for a good, 12, 15 minutes. I'm gonna try not to make this 20 minutes, but, what a film. If you guys aren't familiar with the Odyssey, there will be spoilers for this movie review. Let's get into this, guys. So, Matt Damon stars as Odysseus, who is leading these guys in the Trojan War. We see them in the Trojan Horse. You got John Bernthal's in there. You have Hamish Patel's in here. You have this other guy that's overseeing his own section of the army, played by Benny Safdie. I forget the guy's name, but he has this really badass. He's the guy. He's the guy that's on this popcorn bucket, with the spine helmet. He is fucking awesome. After they win the war, they have to try and make the journey back home. Keep in mind, they've been on the beaches of Troy and trying to get into Troy and, win this war for 10 years now. So he has left his wife and kid behind in his kingdom, Ithaca, and he goes to win the Trojan War, has to go on his way back home, and the gods are like, fuck that. You are not getting to get home unless you are fucking trying your ass off, because we are going to throw everything in your way. We have Cyclops, we have sirens, we have these big fucking 7-8 foot tall soldiers that are just throwing them around like beanbags. It's fucking nuts. The weather, Poseidon, he pisses off the god of wind and sea. There's whirlpools, there is wind, there's violent waves pushing these dudes off of the boats. And these are not these are rowboats. They're not, made of anything strong, so they don't last very long. We have the god of war, the goddess of war, played by Zendaya, Athena. You have, of course, Hades that comes into the film later. They visit him, and all these soldiers rise up from the dirt, which they were all buried, by the way. All these actors were buried, and they had to get the timing right for them to rise out of the dirt. If anyone messed up, if anyone came out too early, they were going to have to bury everybody again and restart everything from scratch. Nolan does not do anything easy in his movies, and I love that. Nolan just goes for the most difficult thing. He's like, it's going to be hard, but if we pull it off, it's going to be one of the best things in the movie. And he does that numerous times in this film with the practical filmmaking, having the cast out on actual boats, having them wear actual armor. Also, the controversies around this movie are fucking ridiculous, guys. So, two of the big things were casting Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy. Let me just tell you right now, she's in the movie for 5 minutes and has very little dialogue at that. She technically plays two characters. She plays Helen of Troy, and she has a twin sister that was with the general guy. And then, of course, you have the other controversy, which is casting Elliot Page. People thought that Elliot Page was playing Achilles. Achilles is not in this fucking movie. Y'all are dumb. Y'all are stupid. People, honestly, there's so many people that made up their minds before the movie even came out that it was dog shit. But Elliot Page in this movie does not play Achilles, plays just a random soldier that actually took Robert Pattinson's character's place as a child when they were trying out for people to go fight with Odysseus in the war. It was originally Robert Pattinson's character that was drafted, and then Elliot Page's character stepped in as a child and took his place. And Odysseus tells Robert Pattinson's character, you could look after my wife and son. My lord, he's doing more than that, let me tell you. We'll get into him in a second. I love Pattinson, dude. I love him. He's amazing. But Elliot Page at the beginning of this movie immediately gets killed off. in front of the Trojan horse. They're like, hey, it's a peace offering. You know, we come in peace. This is a peace offering. And they kill him. And they bring the Trojan horse inside. And we get this amazing scene where they're all climbing out of the horse. And they're like breaking down like how it was inside there. Like, man, we were all pissing and shitting and sweating. And like, they're like trying to stab into it. And they stab one dude. And they have to shut him up before he yells out in pain. It is brutal, dude. This movie is just filled with nonstop intense sequences, like that scene when they're exiting the Trojan horse, entering Troy. There's a shot where Nolan pans the camera over top of the wall, and Odysseus drops a lantern down, and it reveals the army that this guy's assembled to run out of Troy and take down these people and win the war. Because he has other people inside. It's just they needed to infiltrate Troy first to actually give them a signal of like, hey, we're ready to fight, you know, we're ready to get out of here. And they let them through the gates, and it's just a fucking bloodbath. And it's immediately, it like cuts away from that, and I'm like, oh, really? That's all we're gonna get of that? But no, later on in the movie, we go back to it, and we actually see the carnage of it, the pillaging, the skirmishing of these houses, taking out civilians, the probably rape of women and assault and killing of children, and God knows what happened there, Similar to Oppenheimer. In Oppenheimer, he builds the bomb, it's successful, they're happy, then it gets dropped on Hiroshima, and he immediately feels the weight of that decision that he made to make this bomb, and he feels like he has made the world a less safe place. In this movie, Odysseus launches this attack on Troy, and they are immediately, very satisfied with their victory. They've been waiting 10 fucking years. They're happy that it's over. They want to go home. But immediately, as they decapitate this young girl that is played by Zendaya, he immediately realizes the damage and the carnage that he has just unleashed on these innocent people. Not everyone in Troy was probably bad. They were going after the soldiers. They weren't trying to murder this entire town, but that's what his soldiers did. And he, in seeing Zendaya get decapitated, throughout the rest of the movie, we see why he is envisioning her as Athena, the goddess of war. He's not seeing this powerful, domineering goddess of war. He is seeing the effect that it has had on his psyche, where it fucked him up. It fucked him up seeing that. Just an innocent person, didn't have a weapon, wasn't one of the people that were fighting. It's not a part of the army, just a civilian. And it's that needless violence. And he tries to get them home. They're faced with the Cyclops, which is like part actor with like prosthetic, part a little bit, like a tiny bit of CGI. There's probably like 5% CGI in this fucking film. And then the other part of it is like a gigantic puppet that they use for the Cyclops. People are getting eaten, they're running away. Then the weather gets to them. They get sent to this other island with Samantha Morton's character, where there's like an entire body horror sequence where she turns his men into pigs, like reaching her hand down their throats and stretching their faces to form pig faces. It is some crazy, gnarly shit, and that combined with the terrifying Cyclops sequence, Nolan needs to make a horror film. Please, make a horror film. Go out and support this movie, so Nolan is like, hey, now that I've got the support from this movie, let's take a crack at that horror film they've been wanting from me. So, I hope that happens. I really do. And then after that, let's see, we get sent to Hell with Hades, and we have all the soldiers rising up, and they start running at Odysseus and the other troops. Man, people were making fun of that sequence from the trailer where it's like, let's go! And you see them all charging. And initially my thought, too, was they are heading into battle. But no, that is Odysseus being like, let's get the fuck out of here. They're chasing us down, and when they catch us, they're gonna fuck us up, because these are the dead guys that we left behind. Even some of the soldiers that were killed by the Cyclops rise out of the dirt and tell him, like, you left us, like you didn't honor us with burial. And they have like a whirlpool. There's another creature, I forget the name of it, but it just starts grabbing these dudes. and then they get to an island and they're like, hey, we need to not kill any of the cattle because that'll piss off the gods, and lo and behold, they fucking kill the sheep because they're starving. They don't want to listen to Odysseus. They think that he has lost it. He's lost his way. And you know it, the next sequence, storm comes, lightning strikes, Zeus kills them all. The boat is split in half, and the guys float off, and they are never seen again. And Odysseus makes his way home, where you have Telemachus and Penelope there, played by Tom Holland and Anne Hathaway. Brilliant performances by both of them. Everyone in this movie is absolutely brilliant across the board. There are so many names: Charlize Theron, like I said, Samantha Morton, Zendaya, Lupita Nyong'o, Ryan Hurst. You have Alpha and Beta from The Walking Dead in this thing. Corey Hawkins, Robert Pattinson, John Leguizamo. I love John Leguizamo, incredibly underrated actor, and he's in this movie, absolutely killing it as the blind man that's kind of a father figure to Odysseus and a bit of a mentor to Telemachus. And Telemachus is, tired of Robert Pattinson's character taking over the kingdom because they're suitors. They want to marry Anne Hathaway, Penelope, and Odysseus comes back in this third act. And this is where, Ludwig Göransson's score has been killing it throughout the entire movie, whether it's the Troy sequence, the Cyclops sequence, the Witch sequence. This sequence, where Odysseus finally proves himself, he strings this bow that Penelope says only Odysseus was able to do this. And she tells the suitors, if any of you are able to do this, you will marry me. And Odysseus comes up there. He is the last one. He's disguised as a beggar. At this point, he has revealed himself to Telemachus because he has a dog that has been waiting for him for years and years. That was really emotional for me as a dog owner. If you are a dog owner, holy shit, how did you deal with this movie? Oh god, because as soon as Odysseus comes back and the dog sees him, he gives one last wag of his tail and then dies. That was fucking heartbreaking to me. And that's what reveals it to Telemachus, you're my dad, you're Odysseus. And anyway, in this third act, Odysseus proves himself, strings the bow, and Corey Hawkins' character, who was previously, kicking the dog and shoving John Leguizamo to the ground, he gets fucking shot in the neck with an arrow. Corey Hawkins goes down. He's like, you're Odysseus, and then falls to the ground. And then it just becomes a sequence where he is going from room, left to right, shooting these guys with arrows, stabbing them with spears, fighting them off with swords. And everyone else, I'm sure there's going to be people being like, why couldn't they just rush him all at once? But the legend of Odysseus, this has been built up for 20 years now since he's been gone. People are afraid when they finally realize that, holy shit, this figure that they've been talking about for years and years, that he would come back and he would put us in our place, he's here. This is the real fucking deal. And Robert Pattinson's character is pissing himself. He's like, get the fucking swords, get the shields, he's gonna kill us all. And Mia Goth's character, that he's kind of been in cahoots with and getting information from her about Penelope, because she's one of her servants. She's ready to get into the safety room with Anne Hathaway. And she's like, no, your place is out here with them. I'm fuck yeah. So good. There's so much payoff in this third act. It's just him going around left and right, chopping dudes down, eventually getting to Robert Pattinson. Hugely satisfying death there. They really make you hate this guy and the other suitors. And it's a happy ending, Odysseus gets to, a point where he is stabbed multiple times. He is bleeding. He falls down, and I'm thinking, well, he's gonna die. But no. They just actually follow what they were saying that they were gonna do in the beginning of the film before he goes off to the war. Ride off into the sunset, leave Ithaca, and go, follow the sun, and just see where it takes them. And that's where our film ends. And what a brilliantly shot film, paced film. The 3-hour runtime, the near 3-hour runtime, it's 2 hours and 50 minutes, flew the fuck by. Ludwig Göransson's score, amazing. The horror of it all, the practical filmmaking, the amazing performances that are no doubt going to be nominated for an Oscar. I could see Anne Hathaway, Matt Damon. Tom Holland really impressed me here. Of course, I love Robert Pattinson. Anything that he's been doing the past few years, I've loved. And dude, this was an unforgettable movie, and it is getting our second of the year. 10 out of 10. The Odyssey is an unforgettable experience filled with top-of-the-line filmmaking, editing, pacing, music. The battles are epic. The stakes are higher than ever. The emotions are there. I was invested the entire time in these characters. Huge cast, but a huge amount of investment in each of these characters, their stories. I found it fascinating, and that's it. That's it, guys. So, I did end up doing a 20-minute long video here. I don't know how long it's going to be. I might have to cut a few things out, but maybe I'll keep it the way it is. Let me know how you guys like this longer form of a review if it ends up being long. Tell me what you guys thought of the Odyssey down in the comments below. I will have a Christopher Nolan movie ranking coming out later this week. It's good to be back. I had to take last week off because of like how fucking hot it was. But we're back now, making good content, movie reviews, all that good stuff. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care and goodbye.